Beijing is today one of the largest and most influential cities in the world, the political heart of China, and a metropolis of more than 20 million people. But long before the skyscrapers, highways, and modern districts existed, Beijing was already a powerful and highly organized imperial city. In the year 1400 AD, during the early Ming Dynasty, this city was transforming into one of the most important capitals in human history. Its streets were filled with officials, merchants, soldiers, and artisans, all living within a carefully designed urban system created to reflect the authority of the emperor. To understand Beijing in 1400 AD, we must go back further in time, long before the Ming Dynasty ruled China. The region where Beijing stands had been inhabited for thousands of years. Ancient settlements existed because of the strategic location. Between the fertile plains of northern China and the mountain passes that connected the region to Mongolia and Central Asia, early states recognized that controlling this location meant controlling trade routes, military corridors, and access to the northern frontier. One of the earliest major cities here was called Jai, which existed during the Zhou dynasty more than 2,000 years ago. Over centuries, the city changed names and rulers many times. During the Liao dynasty, it became known as Nanjing, meaning southern capital, because the Khitan rulers governed a vast territory from multiple administrative centers. Later, under the Jin dynasty in the 12th century, the city was renamed Zhongdu and expanded significantly with large walls, palaces, and markets. But the most dramatic transformation occurred in the 13th century when the Mongols conquered northern China. Under Kublai Khan, the Mongol Empire established a new capital here called Dadu, also known in the West as Khanbalik. This city became the center of the Yuan dynasty and one of the largest cities in the world. The famous traveler Marco Polo described its immense walls, busy markets, and impressive palaces. Dadu was carefully planned with wide streets and a rectangular grid, reflecting Chinese urban design principles, but built under Mongol rule. When the Yuan dynasty collapsed in the late 14th century, China entered a period of rebellion and reconstruction. The Ming Dynasty rose to power in 1368, driving the Mongols back to the northern steppes. At first, the Ming emperors ruled from Nanjing in southern China, but the northern city remained strategically important. By the year 1400, Beijing was already a major military and administrative center guarding the northern frontier. This was the moment just before the city would be transformed into the imperial capital of the Ming Empire. The man responsible for that transformation was the Yongle Emperor, one of the most powerful rulers in Chinese history. Yongle had seized the throne after a civil war against his nephew, and he understood that controlling the northern frontier was essential for defending China from potential Mongol invasions. Because of this, he decided to move the imperial capital from Nanjing to Beijing. Preparations for this transformation began in the early 1400s and would completely reshape the city. Even before the full reconstruction was finished, Beijing in 1400 already displayed many features that made it a powerful administrative center. Massive city walls surrounded the urban area, protecting its population and symbolizing the strength of imperial authority. These walls were several meters thick and high enough to allow soldiers to patrol along the top. Gates placed at strategic points controlled the movement of people and goods entering the city. Outside the walls stretched farmland, villages, and military outposts that supplied the city with food and resources. Inside the walls, the city was organized with remarkable precision. Chinese urban planning followed strict principles based on philosophy, astronomy, and imperial hierarchy. Streets were arranged in a grid pattern aligned with the cardinal directions. The north-south axis of the city represented political and cosmic balance, a reflection of the ancient belief that the emperor ruled as the mediator between heaven and earth. At the northern center of the city stood the imperial palace complex, which would later become the Forbidden City. In 1400, this area was already reserved for the imperial court and government administration, though the grand palace structures we know today were still under construction. Around this central zone lived high-ranking officials, scholars, and members of the imperial bureaucracy who worked to manage the vast Ming Empire. The Ming government relied on an elaborate administrative system built around educated officials selected through the Imperial examination system. These scholars studied Confucian philosophy, history, literature, and law in order to qualify for government service. Many of them lived in Beijing, working in ministries responsible for taxation, agriculture, military affairs, infrastructure, and justice. Sua presença fez de cidade não apenas uma capital política, mas também centro de vida intelectual. Markets and commercial districts filled the rest of the city. Beijing in 1400 was already a vibrant place, where merchants sold grain, silk, ceramics, tools, and countless everyday goods. Caravans arrived from distant provinces bringing rice, tea, and textiles, while traders from Central Asia introduced horses, spices, and luxury items. The city functioned as a major hub connecting northern China with the rest of the empire. Artisans played an essential role in this urban economy. Workshops produced furniture, clothing, bronze objects, paper, and porcelain. Skilled craftsmen were highly respected because their work supplied both the imperial court and the growing urban population. Many of these artisans lived in specific neighborhoods dedicated to particular crafts, forming communities where knowledge and techniques were passed down. Religion and philosophy were também presents na vida cotidiana de Pequim. Temples dedicated to Buddhism, Taoism, and local folk traditions could be found throughout the city. Incense smoke drifted through temple courtyards as people prayed for prosperity, health, and protection. Confucian temples honored the great philosopher whose teachings formed the foundation of Chinese governance and education. These spiritual spaces created moments of calm within the busy urban environment. Beyond religion, Beijing was also a military city. Its location near the northern frontier meant that large numbers of soldiers were stationed nearby. Barracks, armories, and training grounds existed both inside and outside the city walls. Cavalry units regularly patrolled the surrounding countryside to monitor potential threats from the steppe. The Ming Dynasty invested heavily in defense, strengthening sections of what would later become known as the Great Wall to protect against future invasions. Despite its political power and military importance, life in Beijing was not only about government and defense. The city had a vibrant social atmosphere. Storytellers performed in markets, musicians played traditional instruments, and theatrical performances entertained crowds during festivals. Food vendors sold noodles, dumplings, and roasted meats to travelers and locals alike. Festivals tied to the lunar calendar brought lanterns, fireworks, and celebrations that illuminated the city at night. Transportation within the city depended mostly on walking, horses, and wooden carts. The wide streets allowed goods to move through the markets, while canals connected parts of the city to the Grand Canal system. That linked northern China with the fertile Yangtze River region. Through this canal network, enormous quantities of grain were transported to Beijing, ensuring that the capital could feed its large population. Water management was essential for sustaining such a large city. Wells, canals, and reservoirs provided drinking water and supported daily activities. Engineers and laborers constantly maintained these systems, understanding that a stable water supply was vital for urban survival. As the 15th century progressed, Beijing would soon experience one of the greatest construction projects in world history. Under the Yongle Emperor, the Forbidden City would rise as the largest imperial palace complex ever built. Designed with thousands of rooms, ceremonial halls, and courtyards reserved exclusively for the emperor and his court. This transformation would officially make Beijing the capital of the Ming Empire in 1421, marking the beginning of more than 500 years as China's political center. But even in 1400, before the Forbidden City was completed, Beijing already embodied the structure and ambition of imperial China. It was a city of order, symbolism, and authority, where urban design reflected philosophical beliefs about harmony between heaven, earth, and human society. From its ancient origins through Mongol rule and into the Ming Dynasty, Beijing had evolved into a powerful center that would shape Chinese history for centuries. Walking through its streets in 1400 would reveal a city standing at the threshold of transformation, a place where tradition, power, and vision were preparing to create one of the greatest capitals the world had ever seen.